I never thought that I would be diagnosed with ovarian cancer at the age of 30.
The biggest thing about my diagnosis is it's a very rare form of ovarian cancer. I don't even really totally understand it.
And she said, honestly, nothing has changed in the last 10 years. There's been really no additional research. There's been no findings. There's no additional treatment.
My situation's a little bit different. This was not my first cancer diagnosis. Essentially, my mom, my brother, and I all have something called Lynch syndrome. And so I knew since I was 24 years old that I was most likely going to get some kind of reproductive gynecological cancer. The family history is almost just too much. We've all had cancer. My mom's had cancer 4 times. I've had it basically 3 times. My brother had colon cancer at 26. And then I've had the really rare forms.
It all started with something that was pretty normal for me, but abnormal for a lot of people, which is a super crazy, weird period. I went to the emergency room in the worst pain probably of my life. And once they examined me, it was like everything shifted. That night, my gynecologist called me. It was around, if I remember correctly, 8 p.m. And getting a call from your doctor at 8 p.m. is startling, to say the least. I was told I needed surgery, whether it was cancer or not. And then I found out later that my tumor had actually ruptured during the surgery. So I think kind of leads us into my next diagnosis, which was 6 years later. They found my cancer on my right ovary this time. And as far as I've been told from my oncologist, I have a nearly 100% likelihood of another recurrence. Of course, I had to get a subtype of ovarian cancer that accounts for literally 2 to 3% of all ovarian cancers.
When I talk specifically about ovarian cancer with people and my particular diagnosis, because it is so rare, it is met with a lot of blank stares.
You know, I have met a lot of women that have suffered from ovarian cancer. I have never met anyone in person with my particular subtype.
I think the most important thing for people to know behind this is when you push all of the research, all of the medical terminology, behind all of it is a person who's going through something incredibly traumatic and life-changing, and you do not enter cancer and exit your experience as the same person.
There are many people out there that are almost suffering in silence because it's, again, a very isolating disease, simply because, you know, there's truly not a lot of resources out there, not a lot of people to talk to. There's, you know, not a lot of people just filming videos like this and being a part of something like this, and we need more.
I think so often we put up this barrier and this disconnect when we find out somebody has cancer because we might lose them from it. But there's a person behind this, and a person with hopes and dreams and wants, and honestly, that is why it's so important to continue researching to hopefully find a cure for this disease or much better treatments for the outcome, because I want to live a really long life and fulfill all of my hopes and dreams, and I know that anybody else who is diagnosed with cancer wants that too, and the only way of providing longevity for all of us is to continue research, and you can't continue research without donations and fundraising.
Every October, fountains are pink and everything's pink, and everybody knows that that's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And, like, you know, breast cancer does affect a lot of people, and we've been so lucky that treatments have improved, and, you know, the prognosis is improving for breast cancer, which is great. Now we need to focus on ovarian cancer.
Your donations, they're going to ultimately support the betterment of these people's lives.
This has affected my life in such a terrible way, but being a part of this foundation has really brought kind of like a bit of a glimmer to what I've been through. And meeting all of these women has been life-altering.